Will the market go up or down? Should you lock in or float? Find out this and more with Master of the Markets, hosted by Barry Habib of MBS Highway. Brought to you by Paramount Residential Mortgage Group.
In today's mortgage environment, providing our wholesale community with the best combination of product, pricing, technology, and service is paramount to their success. PRMG, built by originators for originators.
Welcome to another edition of Master of the Markets. I'm Barry Habib at MBS Highway. This is created exclusively for NMP TV. It's brought to you by our good friends over at PRMG, who are working for your best interest. Hey, Fed just buying. People who are looking at mortgage-backed securities are saying, oh my gosh, look at this incredible ride. The coupon's going to change from 2.5% to 2% because the Fed's buying more 2%. We keep saying rates go lower. Refinances are going up. Purchases are higher. It's a wonderful world for the mortgage business, isn't it? Yes, it sure is. Now, it's a good thing we've been in a floating stance. We've been telling you that. I know everybody else was predicting that yields would go higher. We told you that they would likely go lower. The 10-year Treasury back under 60 basis points. And we have been in a really good mode because think about all the time that we've gained by floating. And then when you do lock, you need a shorter period. That's better pricing. You don't have to deal with all the clients who are upset due to the fact that yields are lower, rates are lower, and they're looking to go elsewhere. So really putting you in the catbird seat. So congratulations there. Now, will this trend continue? Some of it will depend on the news that we'll get this week. We're going to get some inflation data, and that's always important. We got wholesale inflation last week, and that showed essentially no inflation in the bond market like that. Same this week we're going to get, except for retail inflation, and we expect those inflation numbers to be low. That's the CPI report, and it's even more closely watched than many reports because inflation is the arch enemy of bonds. Now, when we take a look at last week, there were a couple of Treasury auctions, the 10-year note, 30-year bond. And at these low yields, you're thinking about, it was 65 basis points when they auctioned off the 10-year note. And man, it was bought with hand over fist because at 65 basis points, you wonder, the smart money, why are they buying this? A couple of reasons. One is they think the yields will even go lower. Sure enough, so far they have. But the way that you make money on that isn't necessarily because you're getting a yield of 60 basis points. It's because of capital appreciation. If you hold a note yield that's at 60 basis points or so, even though it doesn't seem that great, if yields go to 30 basis points, well, your 60 basis point yield note is worth a lot more. It becomes a lot more valuable. That's called capital appreciation. That's how you make money in the bond market these days. It's not with yield. And the 30-year bond auction that went off last week, think about this, a bond that's going to be in place for 30 years yielding just 1.3%. Man, the demand was through the roof. From foreigners, domestic, people can't get enough of our bonds. And when you think about what that means for the future, it suggests that the smart money is planning that yields go lower still. Can't really blame them for thinking that way. With the Fed buying everything in sight, it sure appears that way. Now, meanwhile, we've seen the housing market just been on a tear. But as we've said to you, expect things to maybe simmer down a little bit. We saw a huge surge. We know that people in the younger demographic are driving this. We know that individuals that are looking to have more space and more distance certainly want to make that move. But the unemployment rate is staying persistently high. We saw jobless claims come in last week, and still 1.3 million people filing for unemployment benefits, and still 18 million people on continuing unemployment benefits. The good news there was that it did come down from around 19 million, but it is still at very high levels. And look, if this persists, you wonder if it's going to become a problem for people to either go out and buy a home or make mortgage payments. So we still are bullish on the housing market. We just think that things maybe simmer down a little bit from the red hot levels. But that means what you're going to have to do today with no inventory out there is not buy a home. You've got to win the home. And that's what we're doing here at MBS Highways. We're creating all kinds of real estate tools to help, where you could pull reports with your own AVM, where you could see if it's worth it for you to wait to refinance, where you could see if you should bid over asking price. And you really need to get on board, because not only will we guide you through beautifully with rate locks and take all of that off of your pressure, off of your plate, make sure your customers are delighted and you're spending more time, making more money, but we'll help you gain more clients, more trust, be more value to your realtor partners, and really create that relationship with your customer that you need. Get on board. Why not? You're making plenty of money. If you're not, we'll help you make plenty of money. probably because you don't have MBS Highway. And if you do, take a look at it. I think you'll be convinced very quickly how it's a game changer for you. Look forward to talking to you next week. Bye-bye.
PRMG continues to provide our wholesale partners across the nation with better technology, better product, better pricing, and better service. Our nationally recognized brand is more than just an image. It is a symbol of integrity. PRMG, built by originators for originators. Be sure to click on the link below for your free 30-day MBS Highway trial.